Have you ever stood up from a chair and thought, wow, that was harder than it used to be? Or maybe you've noticed yourself hesitating before climbing stairs, not because you can't do it, but because you're wondering if today's the day your balance will wobble just a little too much. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Aging brings changes, there's no denying that. But the beautiful thing is, not all change is downhill. In fact, there are people well into their 80s and 90s who still live independently, doing their own shopping, cooking their own meals, going for walks, even traveling. And they're not superhuman. They've just learned a few powerful habits, simple things they do every single day, that help them stay steady, strong, and self-sufficient. And that's what we're talking about today. Because if there's one thing most of us want as we get older, it's this: to live on our own terms. To not have to depend on others for the little things. To feel like ourselves, capable, confident, and free to enjoy life. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 things you can start doing today, yes, today, to help you stay independent well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. You don't need fancy equipment, a gym membership, or a complete lifestyle overhaul. You just need a little intention, a bit of consistency, and a mindset that says, I'm not done yet. Let's start with the first one, because this one is the cornerstone. It touches everything else: your balance, your strength, your confidence, and even your mood. Move your body, every single day. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting weights like a bodybuilder. I'm talking about gentle, consistent movement that keeps your muscles engaged and your joints happy. Walking is wonderful. Stretching is even better. And something like Tai Chi or simple balance exercises? That can be a game changer. Have you ever watched someone walk confidently down the street at 75 and wondered how they do it? Chances are, they didn't wake up like that. They move on purpose. Maybe it's walking to the mailbox instead of letting it pile up. Maybe it's doing a few leg lifts while brushing their teeth. Little things, every day. One man I knew, Jim, 82 years old, used to say, if I don't move it, I lose it. So every morning, even before his coffee, he'd do a short routine. 10 minutes. That's it. Some arm circles, a few squats holding onto the counter, a walk around the block. It's my way of telling my body, we're still doing this, he told me once. And you know what? He lived alone, cooked his own meals, even drove himself to his bowling league every Friday night. Not because he was lucky, but because he moved. The truth is, your muscles need a reason to stick around. And your balance? That's like a skill, it fades if you don't practice it. You don't need to do everything, but you do need to do something. And the best part is, when you move your body, your energy improves. You breathe better. You sleep better. Your mood lifts. It's like sending a signal to your entire system, I'm still in the game. Now, let's talk about fuel. Because what you put into your body every day has just as much impact as how you move it. This brings us to the second thing you must do daily to stay independent: eat for strength. That doesn't mean going on a diet or cutting out everything you love. It means eating in a way that supports your muscles, bones, and brain. After 70, your body needs more protein than it did when you were younger. Not a mountain of meat, but just enough to keep your muscles fed. You see, muscle loss doesn't happen overnight. It sneaks up on you. A little here, a little there, until suddenly you're struggling to carry the laundry basket or get up from the couch. But with the right nutrients, you can actually slow that down, and in many cases, even reverse it. One woman I spoke to, her name was Maria, she was 76 and had recently started adding a little Greek yogurt to her breakfast, some beans to her salad, and a piece of salmon a couple times a week. Nothing fancy. But within a few months, she said she felt steadier. Her legs didn't get tired so fast. And her doctor told her she was doing the best thing she could to stay independent. And it's not just protein. Your brain needs healthy fats, like the ones in nuts, seeds, and olive oil. Your bones crave calcium and vitamin D. Your heart loves leafy greens and berries. You don't have to be perfect, but you do have to be aware. Ask yourself, is what I'm eating giving me energy? Is it helping me stay strong? Or is it weighing me down? Here's a simple tip that helps: if it looks like it came from the earth, it's probably good for you. If it came out of a box with a bunch of ingredients you can't pronounce, maybe skip that one. And don't forget about water. I know, it sounds basic. But dehydration is sneaky, and it hits harder as we age. Even a little bit of dehydration can make you feel dizzy, foggy, or tired, and that's when accidents happen. So keep that glass nearby. Sip throughout the day. Your body will thank you. So far, we've talked about moving your body and eating for strength, both absolutely essential for staying independent. But there's something else that's just as powerful, and we often overlook it. It's your ability to make choices with confidence. To speak up. To decide what you want, and go for it. That brings us to the third thing you must do daily: engage your mind. Your brain is like a muscle, too. And just like the rest of your body, it needs exercise. This doesn't mean you have to start solving crossword puzzles every morning, unless you love that, of course. It just means you need to stay curious, stay involved, stay sharp. When you use your mind in new ways, you're building connections that keep your thinking clear and your decisions strong. And independence depends on that. Whether it's remembering your appointments, managing your money, or even just deciding what you want to eat, your ability to think clearly matters. One man I met, Harold, 79 years old, had a ritual. Every day after lunch, he'd read the news and jot down one thing he learned. Just a sentence or two. Keeps the cobwebs out, he'd joke. But truthfully, it worked. He could recall names, dates, events, sharper than most folks half his age. And when something came up, like renewing his driver's license or handling a doctor's visit, he was on it. Calm, capable, clear. And engaging your mind doesn't have to be serious. Try something new. A card game. A craft. A documentary. A funny podcast. Even chatting with someone new at the grocery store, that's brain stimulation, too. Because when you stay mentally active, you're not just keeping your independence. You're also keeping your confidence. Confidence matters more than people realize. When you believe in your ability to handle things, whether it's making a phone call, asking a question, or fixing something small in your home, you carry yourself differently. And people treat you differently, too. So move your body, eat with strength in mind, and keep that brain buzzing. These are the foundations. They build on each other. They work together. And they don't just keep you independent, they help you enjoy your independence. Now that we've talked about what goes on inside your body and your mind, there's another layer to this. One that's a little less physical but just as important. It's about how you connect, with others, with your surroundings, and with your own sense of purpose. Because independence isn't just about being alone. It's about choosing your life, on your terms. So, we've talked about moving your body, fueling it with the right foods, and keeping your mind sharp. These things are powerful on their own, but they become even more meaningful when you add something that often gets overlooked as we age: connection. Now, I know not everyone is the social butterfly type. Some folks prefer quiet, some prefer routine. But staying connected doesn't mean hosting parties or calling 10 friends a day. It means maintaining a sense of belonging. It's about staying in touch, with people, with community, with something outside yourself. That brings us to the fourth thing you need to do daily to maintain your independence: nourish your social life. That might sound a little surprising at first. What do friends or neighbors have to do with independence? But think about it. When we lose touch with others, we start to shrink our world. We stay home more. We talk less. We stop asking for help when we need it, even with small things. And over time, that isolation can start to chip away at your confidence, your mood, and even your memory. Now here's the good news: connection can be simple. It can be a friendly wave to your neighbor, a short chat with the cashier, calling your sister, saying good morning to the person you always see at the park. These little moments, they add up. They remind your brain, I'm not alone. They remind your heart, someone sees me. And that keeps your spirit strong. I once knew a woman named Ruth, 82, lived alone after her husband passed. She was fiercely independent. Still drove, still gardened. But after a while, she said she felt the days getting quieter. Not just physically, but emotionally. So she made a little rule for herself: every day, she'd reach out to one person. Could be a phone call. Could be a note in the mail. Could be chatting with the mailman. And she said it changed everything. I didn't realize how much I needed people, she told me. Not to depend on them, but to remind me that I still matter. And that's what connection does: it helps you feel like you still matter. And when you feel that, you act differently. You walk taller. You take better care of yourself. You're more likely to keep moving, keep eating well, keep your brain sharp, because you feel like you're still part of something. And if you don't have a big social circle, don't worry. Quality beats quantity every time. One solid friend is worth more than a dozen casual acquaintances. And if you've drifted from people over time, that's okay. It's never too late to rebuild a connection. People are often more open to it than you'd think. Try this: make one small connection today. Just one. A message, a wave, a compliment. See how it feels. And don't be surprised if it starts to ripple into the rest of your life. Now, while we're on the topic of connection, there's one more piece that ties all of this together, something a little more personal, a little more inward. It's something you might not hear talked about in doctors' offices or health magazines, but it might just be the most important part of staying independent as you age. And that's having a sense of purpose. Every single day, do one thing that reminds you why you're getting up, why you're keeping yourself strong, and why your independence matters to you. It could be the tiniest thing, but it needs to matter. That's the fifth thing: do something meaningful every day. It doesn't have to be profound. You don't need to start a foundation or solve world peace. Maybe your purpose is taking care of your garden. Maybe it's writing down a few thoughts in a journal so your grandkids can one day know what life was like in your shoes. Maybe it's cooking your favorite meal just because you love how it smells in your kitchen. Or maybe it's helping someone else, checking on a neighbor, volunteering for a few hours, or just being that friendly face someone looks forward to seeing. Purpose gives energy a reason to show up. It gives your steps direction. And it keeps your independence from feeling like just another to-do list. It makes it feel like a gift. There was a man named Charles, a retired teacher in his early 70s. Every day, he'd go to the library, sit at the same table, and tutor kids in math for free. He didn't have to. No one expected it. But he loved the look on a kid's face when something finally clicked. It keeps my brain alive, he told me. And it keeps me showing up. That was his purpose. That's what made him feel like he still had something to give. And we all do. You do. Whether it's making someone laugh, passing on your wisdom, creating something beautiful, or simply staying well so you don't burden the people you love, that's purpose. That's meaning. And when you keep that fire going inside you, you're more likely to do all the other things. You move. You eat better. You keep your brain sharp. You reach out to people. Because suddenly, it's not just about staying alive, it's about living well. So ask yourself, what brings you joy? What gives you that little spark? It could be painting, reading, helping, cooking, praying, fixing things. There's no wrong answer. But once you find it, make it a part of your day, even if just for a few minutes. That's how you remind yourself who you are. And look, none of us are perfect. Some days will be harder than others. You'll have aches and pains. You'll get tired. You might forget to stretch or skip a walk or eat something less than ideal. That's life. But the secret isn't in perfection, it's in consistency. It's in showing up for yourself, even in small ways, every single day. Because every time you do, you're sending yourself a message: I'm still here. I still care. I'm still living this life, on my terms. You have so much more strength than you know. And the good news is, independence doesn't fade all at once. It fades slowly, in little habits that slip away. But that also means, you can bring it back, one habit at a time. One choice at a time. So if you're watching this and thinking, I'm not where I used to be, that's okay. You're not too late. You're not too old. And you're certainly not done. You just need a plan. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Start simple. Move a little. Eat with strength in mind. Engage your mind, connect with someone, and do something that lights you up inside. That's the path forward. That's the daily medicine. That's how you stay independent, not just by keeping your body strong, but by keeping your spirit alive. You are the author of your own story. And the best part? There are still blank pages ahead. So now that we've walked through the power of movement, the fuel of nutritious food, the spark of mental stimulation, the comfort of connection, and the fire of purpose, there's one final thing I want to leave you with. It's not another habit, and it's not a checklist item. It's a mindset. One that holds all the other pieces together. Because let's be honest, it's easy to get caught up in what we can't do anymore. The knees that don't bend like they used to, the names we sometimes forget, the energy that seems to disappear halfway through the day. And when we focus on those losses, it can feel like life is shrinking. But the truth is, your independence isn't just about avoiding decline. It's about claiming joy in your own way, every single day. You see, the most independent people I've known in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s weren't necessarily the fastest, the fittest, or the ones who never had a health scare. They were the ones who had learned how to adapt. How to wake up and say, okay, what can I do today, with what I have, right now? And then they did it, with grace, with humor, and with a whole lot of heart. One man I met, Sam, used a walker. Had a few surgeries over the years, some trouble with balance. But every morning, rain or shine, he made his way out to the front porch, put on his favorite old cap, and waved to the kids walking to school. They waved back. They always did. Some of them even stopped to chat. He called it his daily community check-in, and he said it gave him a reason to get dressed every day. That tiny habit, 10 minutes of connection on a porch, made him feel engaged, seen, and yes, independent. Because that's what independence really means. It's not about doing everything alone. It's about doing things your way, with intention, with dignity, and with your own two hands whenever you can. It's about staying in the driver's seat of your life, no matter how the road twists and turns. And it's about knowing that your life still has value. You have wisdom that someone younger needs to hear. You've got memories that deserve to be shared. You've got kindness to give. You've got laughter to let loose. And every time you show up for yourself, every stretch, every healthy meal, every brain game, every hello, every smile, you're keeping that value alive. So if you're ever feeling discouraged, or wondering if it's too late to reclaim your independence, I want you to remember this: independence is not a finish line. It's a practice. It's something you reinforce with each decision you make. It grows with every effort, no matter how small. Maybe today, that means standing up and walking just a little longer than yesterday. Maybe it means finally trying that simple yoga video your friend keeps telling you about. Maybe it means drinking more water, or sitting outside to feel the sun on your face. Maybe it's deciding to reach out to that person you've been missing. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You just have to show up a little bit more for yourself than you did the day before. And here's something else to remember: it's okay to ask for help. In fact, real independence often includes knowing when to lean on others. Just because you accept support doesn't mean you've lost your freedom, it means you're wise enough to preserve it. Let me tell you about my Aunt Jean. She's 79, full of fire, still dances in her kitchen. But you know what? She also has someone help clean the house once a week. Not because she can't clean, because she chooses to save that energy for the things she loves doing. That's smart independence. That's living with intention. You deserve that too. You deserve a life that feels vibrant, connected, and truly yours. And you have everything you need to build it, starting with the 5 simple, powerful things we've talked about. You move your body, because strength means freedom. You eat to fuel yourself, because your body still has places to go. You challenge your brain, because curiosity keeps you young. You connect with others, because no one was meant to go it alone. And you do something meaningful every single day, because your life still has chapters left to write. If you do those things consistently, they'll carry you through the hard days and lift you even higher on the good ones. And over time, those small daily choices become a lifestyle. A lifestyle of independence, of energy, of presence. A life on your terms. So take a deep breath. Stand tall, or sit tall if that's where you are right now. Feel the pride in knowing that you're doing something powerful, not just for yourself, but for everyone who loves you and looks up to you. You are showing that life doesn't end after 70. It evolves. And with the right habits, it can be even more meaningful than you imagined. If you found something in this video that resonated with you, maybe a reminder, or maybe a brand new idea, I'd love to hear it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what you do every day that helps you stay independent. Your story might inspire someone else who's just starting this journey. And if you enjoyed this conversation and want more tips, encouragement, and community, be sure to like the video and subscribe. We're building something beautiful here, an uplifting space where aging feels like a new beginning, not a slow end. Let's remind the world that age isn't the enemy. It's a teacher. A badge of honor. And with the right mindset, it's also a doorway to some of the richest, most fulfilling years of your life. So here's to you. To your strength, your courage, your laughter lines, and your unstoppable spirit. Here's to living your best life, at any age. Now go do one small thing today, just for you.